Hello everyone, welcome to Groups Master. This is APPSC Group 1 Mains 2023 Science and Technology Question Paper Discussion. ఈ వీడియోలో మనం 15th క్వశ్చన్ దట్ ఈస్ ద లాస్ట్ క్వశ్చన్ డిస్కస్ చేస్తున్నాం. దిస్ ఈస్ పార్ట్ 12. ప్రీవియస్ పార్ట్స్ ప్లేలిస్ట్ ఉంటే ఎవరైనా చూడకపోతే ఒకసారి వెళ్ళి చూడొచ్చు. దిస్ ఈస్ అవర్ అఫీషియల్ వెబ్సైట్ groupsmaster.com. Visit this website for further information and updates, and also we are providing the free PDF compilation of all these 15 questions. You can download it from groupsmaster.com website, and don't forget to subscribe to Groups Master YouTube channel. 15th question ఏం అడిగారంటే discuss why India did not sign the COP26 pledge to stop deforestation and cut methane gas emission by 2030. Let us try to answer this question. During COP26 Global Climate Conference, which was held in Glasgow in Scotland in 2021, the world leaders made a commitment to halt deforestation by the end of the decade and also to reduce the emission of methane, which is a potent greenhouse gas, in order to mitigate the effects of the climate change. And they pledged to reduce these methane emissions by 30% by 2030. And India did not sign this COP26 pledge to stop deforestation, cut methane gas emissions by 2030 because of the following reasons. Let's just try to understand what are these reasons. India expressed apprehension about the potential economic and developmental impacts of the stringent methane reduction measures. Next reason is India argued that reducing methane emissions from agriculture would have negative impact on food production in the country. And India also emphasized the need for comprehensive and accurate understanding of its own domestic emissions. So we don't have enough data regarding our domestic emissions. So that's why we need specific data on domestic emissions before we are committing to specific reduction targets. And government has also said that it is not clear how the pledge would be implemented in the future, and that it would need more information before making any decision regarding the COP26 pledge. And India is also concerned about availability of the technology to reduce the methane gas emissions from livestock. The methane pledge does not provide any financial assistance to help countries, that is mainly developing and least developed countries, or to implement the methane reduction technologies. Next, the pledge may lead to tariffs on Indian agricultural products. So government has to levy tariffs on Indian agricultural products. It would have a significant negative impact on country's economy and its trade relations with other countries if we sign the COP26 pledge. Next, India also argued that developed countries have a much historical responsibility for climate change, so they should take the lead in reducing the emissions. India also argued that important point, carbon dioxide has hundreds of years of lifetime, whereas methane has a much shorter atmospheric lifetime of just 12 years. So India argued that focus should not be shifted to methane reduction, which has shorter atmospheric lifetime than CO2. India also pointed out that India is a party to UNFCCC and its Paris Agreement, but the methane pledge is outside the ambit of the UNFCCC and its Paris Agreement. So these are the reasons why India did not sign the COP26 pledge. You can conclude this question like this. India's decision is based on a number of factors, including economic, technological, political concerns, and the government is still considering the issue and not ruled out signing the pledge in the future. Next, 15th B, what are gene sanctuaries? How do they protect the genetic diversity of plants in India అని అడుగుతున్నారు. So let us try to answer this question by defining what are gene sanctuaries. Gene sanctuaries are areas or designated regions where the conservation and protection of genetic diversity and wild relatives of crops or other organisms are prioritized. These sanctuaries aims to safeguard the genetic resources that are crucial for maintaining biodiversity and supporting the resilience of the ecosystems and agricultural systems. So in this way you can answer the first part of the question, what are gene sanctuaries. Next, try to answer the second part, how do these gene sanctuaries try to protect the genetic diversity of plants in India. Gene sanctuaries in India protect the genetic diversity of plants in a number of ways. Let us see what are these ways. Gene sanctuaries identify and protect areas where wild relatives of cultivated plants are found. So these wild species possess valuable genetic traits that can be utilized in breeding programs to enhance crop resilience in the near future. Next, by safeguarding the natural habitats of wild plant species, gene sanctuaries help ensure the survival and diversity of wild plant populations. Next, gene sanctuaries often involve the collection and storage of seeds from diverse plant species. So, these seed banks serve as a safeguard against the loss of valuable plant traits due to habitat destruction, climate change, and other environmental threats. Next, gene sanctuaries helps to prevent the introduction of invasive species that can outcompete and displace native plants. Gene sanctuaries serves as centers for research, monitoring, and education and contribute to the scientific studies on plant genetic diversity. Next, gene sanctuaries provides safe haven for threatened and endangered plants. Gene sanctuaries are often located in areas with high levels of biodiversity. By protecting these areas, gene sanctuaries help to conserve the natural ecosystems of India. And Indian government established National Gene Bank in the year 1996 to preserve the seeds of plant genetic resources for future generations. Garo Hills Gene Sanctuary of Meghalaya and Nilagiri Biosphere Reserves are some of the examples of gene sanctuaries in India. You can conclude this question in this way. Through these efforts, gene sanctuaries in India play a crucial role in protecting and conserving the genetic diversity of plants. They contribute to the sustainability of agriculture and continued availability of genetic resources for future generations. That's it. Here we are concluding this video. So all the 15 questions that are asked in science and technology in recent APPSC Group 1 Means 2023 are discussed, and this content will be compiled into a PDF form and it will be available for free download in groupsmaster.com website. You can visit this website to download the document later. Thank you. Thank you for watching this video. If you really like this video, do subscribe to Groupsmaster YouTube channel and also share this video with your friends.